Best of r/Tales from Retail episode 45. So a few things before I get into this story to help explain the events that happened. This is my first retail job since April last year. I got it in November of last year. I'm autistic. Our store is located in a bigger appliance store. I was working the late shift at a phone shop and it was just me as we weren't allowed to keep any Christmas temps, which has put us in a bad position when it comes to hours. Only 3 of us working there at the moment. This guy comes in wanting to return some phones. He tells me what's wrong with these phones, and as I haven't had much experience in returning phones, I called my manager, his day off, and explained the situation to him. Now the guy was claiming that the new phones were faulty and slow down and sometimes freeze after long use. Samsung A40. We cannot do returns. What we do is exchange like for like, but only if we can identify the fault. So I was messing on the phone's openings all apps possible and I haven't seen any sort of fault on them. If anything, they were running more smoothly than my Samsung S8. After I told this gentleman I cannot return the phones if I can't identify the fault, he starts to raise his voice at me. I polite asked him not to and he said he wasn't when he was. He then goes on to fact that I'm breaking the law and threatens to call the police since I refuse to return faulty good. I try to explain to him if the phone has loads of apps open and is being used a lot without rest, it may cause the device to slow down and maybe even freeze, since there is only so much these phones can't do, being budget and all. He then proceeds to raise his voice at me even more, telling me I'm back at customer service and people like me shouldn't have this job as I don't care about helping people. I picked choices to work in retail because I enjoy helping people. He then keeps getting rude, so my hand slams on the desk. Not something I wanted to do, but it was an automatic response from this guy continuously being rude to me. I walk off away from him and call my manager to explain situation at this point and was starting to physically shake. I was told to find a manager from the appliance store to come and help me. I do so and this guy comes out towards me calling me a coward dad and getting people to fight my own battles for me. I tell him I'm new and getting someone who may be able to help out in this situation. That's apparently not an excuse because this manager has nothing to do with me. The manager calls up my actual manager and with the guy talks thought a deal where we give the guy 2 new phones and return the old ones, but can't do it cause it has to be the name of the account holder. He gets angry again at me for keep changing information, but I can't barely get any words in for this whole situation and goes off to collect the person. Half an hour later he returns and we start with the returns process. He is now moaning at me cause I'm going through the returns going, what are you doing? Don't test them now. You keep lying and changing what you are saying. I tell him I've been told to test the phones and make them fail a test so we can return them as fault, and he said okay fine. While doing the return I hear him and the account holder mock me for about 10 minutes in which I've done the returns and given him the new phones. Not even a thank you. 2 minutes after he left the store I see someone a phone and was pointing it at me in the corner of my eye. I look up and smile at them before they quickly ran. I then see them doing same thing to the manager that helped me before, walking around the store on their phone talking to someone before leaving. It looks like he sent in his daughter or something to take pictures of us to write a complaint about us doing our jobs properly and not doing what some random stranger who knows nothing about our jobs to do. Oh, did I mention he waited until last second of 14 days to do all this? Upside down face. All he had to do was say parents got these phone, they don't like them, can I exchange them for a different phones, and it would have been really easy without any situation brewing. So that's my story. When I got home, I went to be straight away without dinner or saying hello to my family members. I just wanted to be left alone. Thank you. Next. Yesterday I had an older woman come into my store and get my attention, and she asked me if we had any erasers. She paused, and before I could answer she said not eraser, erasers, and she mimed rubbing out a spelling error on paper but like an eraser. For cleaning. I just started at her, and blinked, waiting for more. None came. An eraser for cleaning? I asked her. Yes, she said. It's an eraser for cleaning. She meant a sponge. Face with tears of joy. She wasn't a non-native English speaker either. She was English, I could tell by her British accent. Still can't get it out of my head. I mean technically it works. A sponge erases dirt so it makes sense. But man, what a weird way to describe a sponge. Thank you. Next. I'm so fucking mad right now. Okay, so she's not really my aunt. She's my grandma's cousin, so we have all just always called her Aunty Jane out of respect for her elder status. Several months ago, Aunty came into the store where I work and upon not finding a particular product she had bought previously, she came to the customer service desk, where I happened to be. I went with her to the aisle it should be. I look with similar products by the same manufacturer and nothing. I called the grocery manager and she said it was pulled due to low sales and replaced by another product. She proceeded to say she was able to special order it for customers under certain conditions. Explained those conditions, one being the customer had to buy the whole case, which would be 6 or 8 boxes. Aunty said order me 2. After Aunty walked away, I called grocery manager back and told her I know my auntie. She did not listen to a word you said past special order. She wants 2 boxes not cases. Grocery manager didn't believe me. Next truck comes in with 2 cases. It was put at the service desk with her name and invoice. She came in and when handed 2 cases, she said she was never told she had to buy it by the case. She was told by the box. She wanted 2 boxes, not cases. Neither grocery manager nor I was there to dispute Auntie's claim, so the decision was made to let her just have 2 boxes. The rest went into markdowns because we had no room to store it. 2 months later Auntie comes in again. She wants that product again. I wasn't at the service desk but I saw her and I knew what she was going to pull. I quickly made my way to the desk. I told my co-manager I would take this one but to please stay to witness. I made it crystal clear to Auntie that she had to buy the whole case. I even made her repeat it back to me that she understood she would be buying all 8 boxes for $X. XX each, totaling $XX. XX plus tax. So we ordered it and she came a few days later to get it. My co-manager was the one that gave her the case. I was on break, and Auntie went on about her shopping. That rotten bitch. She opened the case, took 2 boxes out, and left the rest just sitting in the aisle with similar products. Grocery manager found it about 30 minutes later. Again, 6 boxes into markdown. That is now 20 boxes that went into markdowns, which is 75% off regular retail price. Grocery manager says Auntie cannot special order unless she pays up front. She asks if anyone has contact information for her. Of course I do. Grocery manager calls her and informs her of the need for prepayment. Auntie is not happy but finally says she understood. Her name is put on the list of people who must prepay on special orders. Funny. Auntie didn't come into the store for a few months and avoided me like I had the plague at our holiday dinner. She came in today though. I was stocking tobacco products and happened to see her leaving the service desk. Oh, hell, no. I immediately went and pulled the special order book to see if she paid. I didn't find an order for her but I just had a feeling. I looked again and there it is. She ordered it under her daughter's name, called grocery manager and showed her. By now she believes me that this woman is my auntie so she sees what is going on. I went with grocery manager to find Auntie. We also took the store manager with us. When confronted, Auntie swore her daughter did, in fact, want a case of it. Auntie was told straight up we knew what she was attempting to pull and she had to pay or the order would be cancelled and it would now be in the book to not order this product for anyone. She again said it was for her daughter. I said I was calling her daughter and pulled out my phone. Oh, my sweet lord, my auntie turned into a raging beast spitting fire and brimstone. She started screaming how the store was discriminating against her due to her age and not understanding their complicated policy. She was getting a lawyer and suing if we didn't order what she wanted and, you missy, I'm almost 50. You are out of the family for allowing these people to treat me like this. You are banned from all future family name functions. No one will ever speak to you again and no one from our family will ever shop here again. We will own this store once I'm done. And with that she walked out. My store manager and the grocery manager are left with their mouths hanging open and what just happened here looks on their faces. I just shrugged and said yeah for me. No more family reunions. Fat chance. My grandma is reigning matriarch right now as she is the eldest of the actual bloodline and in charge of the family functions. With her age, it actually falls to my mom, my aunt, me and my sister-in-law. Thank you. Next. I work at a fairly popular beauty brand store. I love my work. I've been there for years and as of now have no thought of quitting. But there comes a time, and often it's on a daily, when we as retail workers come in contact with one of those customers The cast for this story will be me for me, CC for crazy customer, PT for poor team member, T for team member, PH for poor husband. It was a Sunday, a fairly busy one to be exact. Now this is a little while ago and I can't be too exact about the promotions going on, but I do remember there was an extra discount if you were a card holder. This comes into play later. I'm manager on duty for the night and making my rounds of the store, checking on customers and making sure my staff are doing okay. I notice we are running pretty low on a lot of stock, particularly our hair care section. We have some boxes in the back but we sell it so fast it probably won't last us the night. I stock its shelves and make it as full as I can for the time being. Satisfied with my work, I decide I better go take my break before it gets too late or we have an even bigger rush of customers. As I head to the back, I see T come out carrying out 4 boxes of the specific hair care we are nearly out of. I let her know I already stocked the shelf so there is no need to do so. T. Oh, no, it's not to stock, it's for a customer. She wants to buy 24 boxes, but this is almost all we have. I'm going to get the last boxes in the back for her. Me. Leave the other boxes in the back. You know we can't sell that many to one person, and even if we could we don't have the stock to hold us over. Let me go speak to her. CC stands at the cash with PT speaking to her. PT is Chinese and speaks Mandarin, which CC also does. We have a very diversified team, which is so amazing because there is usually a team member who can speak a different language if a customer isn't fluent. I go up to CC with a smile and a soft voice. Me. Hi there, I heard you wanted purchase our hair care. CC. Yes, that's right. I want 24 boxes. Me. I see. Unfortunately we are not able to sell that many to a single person, especially with our promotion right now. CC. What do you mean you cannot? I'm a paying customer. Me. Oh, I understand, but due to the fact many people resell products after buying items for a fraction of the cost, we are unable to sell that many. I'd be happy to sell you the 4 boxes T brought out though, as she already said she'd give you them. CC. Well, what if my husband buys? Can he get more? I want them all. Me, knowing we had a few more boxes in the back room. Me. I'm sorry, this is all the stock we have and that I can give you at the moment. We will be expecting a delivery tomorrow. I can ask my stock girl to bring up extra boxes for you specifically. CC. Why won't you just give me them all now? T said there were more. Me. Mom, the policy is we are only supposed to give 2 boxes per customer when there is a sale. I'm giving you 4, which already covers both you and your husband. I'm sorry, but many people love this hair care and that's why we have a limit. She now starts to go off at PT in Mandarin, which I was later told that CC said I wasn't letting her buy because she was Asian. What? And that the rules were stupid and the whole team was useless. We now have the biggest line and are down to 1 cash. Luckily I have one of my fastest team members at cash, but that doesn't stop customers from glaring at CC and become frustrated. Me. Mom, please don't yell at my staff. The policy is. CC. What policy? Where is this policy? She yells at me, getting overly close that I nearly have to step back. Me still trying to sound sweet. The policy comes from our head office during times when we have sales like these. Normally I may be able to give you more if 1, it's regular price, and 2, if I had the stock. CC. Give me what I want. I want IT all. Give IT to me, and show me the policy. Me, beginning to get annoyed, turns my voice a little more stern. This is all I can give you. If you like, I can give you a few more off the shelf that are already unboxed. And tomorrow. CC. I don't want to come tomorrow. I want IT today. Tomorrow the card holder deal will end. Me. This is our policy. CC. Show me the policy. CC smashes her fist down onto the counter. Show me the policy. Show me the policy. Show me the policy. Show me the policy. Each time she says policy, she brings her palm down and slaps the counter. She goes back to shouting the same things she did before at PT, and PT tries to calm her down with her soft, gentle voice. CC is having none of it and calls PH to come in. PH comes in looking tired and beat. His wife is going off at us and he doesn't even look shocked, nor does he look annoyed with us. Instead he kind of gives me a look to say, sorry, Mom, I'm going to ask you again, please don't yell at my staff. You can yell at me, but there is no reason for you to yell at them. Also, if you want the hair care, Then please buy it or refuse what I can give you and take none of it. The choice is yours. I'm finally over with this situation just as everyone else in the store looks to be. CC decides that yes, she's going to take the shampoo and take me up on my offer of taking a few more out of the box products. Not sure she understands the concept of a few more as she scoops them all up off the shelves, leaving them bare, and even goes as far as taking the few we had in our display. CC, I'm taking these too. I nod, knowing those display products have been sitting there for months, and if she wants old products then so be it. PT helps me bag the hair care as I ring up her purchase. Although their purchase is way over the limit, I have some satisfaction knowing I still had a few boxes in the back for the shelves and other customers that I would stock later when they left. PH pulls out his credit card and pays for the purchase, saying thank you to me. I smile, feeling bad for him, and wish him a good night. CC is still huffing as she counts her hair care one by one as though I might have ripped her off. When she is finally done, she has her husband pick up the bags and she storms off. PH somewhat fumbles while picking up the bags, and I let him know if he needed to make 2 trips we would watch them for him. He kindly refuses and says thank you again before leaving. PT turns to me, shock on her face. Me, who was annoyed, starts to laugh and just shake my head. I ask for someone else to come on cash so PT and I can step away. I tell her she did a good job, thank her for keeping her cool, and that she could go take a small break to calm her nerves. T tells me she is sorry and wished she never told CC we had extra boxes in the back. She wasn't thinking of the rules at that moment, just the sale. I tell her she's fine and ask if she could restock the hair care. Finally it was time for my much needed break. About a year passed before I saw CC again, and to be honest I'm surprised she even came back. Twice so far to be exact. The first was to pick up some lotion that she had multiple coupons for. I let the staff know that even though they weren't to use more than one per day, to just do it so we could avoid a fight. The second was of course right at close, and we had to wait extra for CC to leave, but she didn't give us any more trouble. This story became a good chuckle amongst the team working that night. Thank you. Next. I got a complaint today about someone saying I throw their groceries. The only thing I can think of is I slide them down the way so the sacker can get them. Our station is a bit long, so if it isn't something delicate I make sure it gets down there. Admittedly I was a bit upset when service desk came over to tell me, and I vented telling them I hate my fucking job sometimes. I guess she was offended and told a higher up who brought me in to yell at me about it and send me home. I was adjusting my swing of the groceries. I said what I said outside of the front end, and I wasn't even attacking anyone. I was just upset about it and I got in trouble. I'm so mad and upset that I can't just fucking do my dead-end job in peace without being expected to give ultimate service, cause if you're not there to do that, what is the good of you being here? I'm so tired and worn out. I'm not even 30 yet and I already feel like I aged a whole lifetime working in this fucking demeaning slog of a job. Thank you. Next. So, back when I was working at a large electronics store, we had our fair share of shoplifters, some smarter than others. On this occasion, it was a beautiful spring day, and the store was bustling with activity. Good conditions. If you're a bored employee or a shoplifter. A shady gentleman with a coat that magically got more and more filled out the longer he walked around started making his way towards the bathrooms. We had seen him, but there were enough customers that we couldn't get to him before he started down that hallway. My manager made it in time to yell no product in the bathrooms. This is when that wonderful gentleman decided it was more prudent to just try to bail out the fire door by the bathrooms. Unfortunately for him, reading was not his strong suit. Push to open the door, wait 5 seconds, then push again to exit. This man made it about as far as pushing the door once, setting off the loudest, most shrill fire alarm in human history. He panicked, dropped all of the product and sprinted out the front door of the store. The customers looked around curiously for the source of the insanely ear-splitting beeping, and determined that their lives were not in immediate danger and thus, kept shopping. All the store managers were at a loss. Policy is to get all the customers and employees out the store if the fire alarm goes off. But we knew it was a shoplifter. No lives were in danger. A couple of the connected home employees and I took shelter in the headphone department, donning very expensive noise-cancelling headphones to preserve our dying eardrums. For the next 20 minutes people awkwardly milled about and kept on trying to purchase things while managers in a very half-assed manner walked from department to department asking people to leave the store if they felt like it. Then the fire department showed up. Each firefighter climbed down from their truck to individually yell at all of the managers. It took them an additional 10 minutes to figure out how to turn off the alarm, as nobody knew where the control was. All the managers, including the very wealthy and lax GM, spent the rest of the day looking like scolded children. Thank you. Next. This was at the bookstore again. I'd finished my last finals for the program I was in the day before, and my supervisor presented me with an issue as soon as I'd clocked in. Apparently, there was a glitch with a gift certificate system and a bunch of values had been overwritten. Because I'm quick at a keyboard, he tasks me with fixing the issue, reassigning values and creating new gift certificates, as well as redirecting old values in the system to point at the new GC numbers. There were dozens of these affected, maybe as many as 100 or 200, and my supervisor said, "Don't bother with anything else you would normally do. This is the most pressing matter we have." Not really giving it much thought, I sat down and started working, finding my rhythm and just flying through them. Every so often, supervisor would poke his head in, ask how things were going. It was his office, so I couldn't tell him to buzz off, but it interrupted my flow. This task took up almost the whole workday, and when it was finally done, he called me into the staff break room. They threw me a goodbye party. Since I was no longer a student, I couldn't work in the position I held any longer. As a parting gift, they got me a black leather messenger bag. Then it fell into place. My supervisor was distracting me to get everything ready. They were a great group to work with. Maybe I'll stop in for a visit sometime.